In this support session, our hometown's lead CSR Vera Lemonovich shows the team at Restoration Media how to use some of the more advanced blocks in the article editor to create interesting designs, as well as demonstrating the new NextGen Gallery feature.
Okay, so what we were going to go over just briefly was info boxes. And what was nice is Lisa provided me with an example of what an info box is to me, because I called them something else. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically copy and paste this here, because that's like what I would consider an info box. Let me just copy it. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a mock-up. And don't worry, Lisa, I'll delete this.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a widget and I'm going to select columns. Now, what's nice about columns is you have different types and different things that you can do. This is perfect for like if you have an interview. So if you wanted the Q&A, or if you wanted to have like photos on one side and the article on another, give it more structure. But for this example, I'm just going to do a half and half. So I'm going to do a paragraph. Now that just means that it's just going to be text within the box. Now by pasting this, it's going to segment it. I can also go through here and I can make that bold. I can change the font, different things here just to pretty it up, so to speak. Bear with me just a second to get caught up here, and then I'll move on to the next step. And Lisa has already been here with this, and she knows exactly where I'm going to be taking you. All right, so now I have my ingredients and all of the information here. So what's nice is if you don't have anything on the side, if you click this cog here, you have more settings. Here is where you can adjust the font size. So let's make that medium. It's a little bit easier to read. And if you go into advanced, you have some more settings. What I want is color. So let's make that a pretty blue. That's for the font. So let's make that black. And let's change the background to that pretty blue. See how it kind of like jumps off the page a little bit? So over here, I'm going to add an image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this here. All right, so now that that's done, I'm going to upload. And, oh, wrong one. Oh, it looks like we have somebody else joining us. All right, so here we go. And then if I wanted to add a caption, I would do so here. And I'm just going to do basic Hollandaise sauce. All right, so did everybody see how I did that? Was that a little fast? Did you need me to go back?
I'm good. I don't know how many of them are going to talk back to you, Vera, but they also, you know, you don't have to have the photo. You could have just one line. I love the way this looks for recipes, but if it's just that you want to put the time and date and place of something, that's fine too, just to, you know, do it a single column. If you were having an event, you know, you really could put like the picture of the band on the left and the information about how to get tickets on the right. So you could do all kinds of things.
All right. And one thing that Lisa brought up in an email prior to the meeting was she gave an example of an ad placement inside of the article. Now, most of the advertising is going to be handled by your marketing department. Kevin, Abigail, and Sean have already created placements within the article. But let's say you have a sponsor that is independent of regular advertising. So let's say you have the Barton Bulldogs that are sponsoring this story. What you would do is you would click, you would select image. Let's go into the media library. Okay, there we go. All right, so if this is the case, there's a couple of things that you can do. You can make it larger or smaller. Let me see here. You can align it center. You can add a link. So if I wanted to go to when they click on that image, it'll take them right to the advertiser. Now, this is perfect for people that don't have a lot of advertising dollars, that if you want to give a nod to one of your local businesses, you could do that. But like I said, most of them are set up by your marketing department. I worked extensively with them, but just in case you had to, you could do that. This also works for like if you're doing a story on local fire department and they're looking for volunteers or something, you can link to their page here. It doesn't have to be for advertising purposes. It'll work with any image. You could also link to other files too. So let's say, for instance, let me see here. Let's open this in a new tab. That's something you want to always do. And then you want to hit apply. And then that way it saves. And then there we go. If for some reason you wanted to link it to something in your media library, let me go into another here. Everything that you save in your media library gives you a URL. And that is also for like if you have an MP3 file. So if you have a voice that you want to put, when they click it, they'll hit that. It'll open up in a new tab where they can listen to the player. You can insert a player. All of that is available here. So you don't have to stay with the constraints of your standard. Another thing that I wanted to show you is let's select this block here. You can do a drop cap. Now, I know that many of you who was with me initially, I showed that, and Kevin wanted to keep it simple, but there are a lot of cool things that you can do. If you want to see everything that you can do, here are all of the widgets that are available. The only thing that I'm not really sure of is the pull quotes. I think we had some issues with that, and I think that engineering is still working on that. But you could do verse, you could do a gallery, audio file, media and text, buttons, so if you were doing a donation push, article, any of that, you have all of this. I also showed you.
Were you showing that separator you showed us how, and that looked so good in the story the other day. That might be something you just went by the widget that had the separator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could also do a search for it.
Okay.
And there we go. All right. And so let's see here, align center. And let's see here. White line. And then there you go. You can make it the full width of the article. And that way, if you have extra content, it kind of breaks it up a little bit. And we were using that for that school story, weren't we?
Yeah, I can't even remember right now.
Yeah, it was the school scores. How the schools were measuring up by the different schools.
Oh, right.
All right, so just coming back to the media library here, if I were to select this here, every file has a URL that's attached to it. And if you wanted to add like an MP3, it will support it. Let me see if I have one I can use. Let me go on the desktop. Here we go. All right, and I'll just delete that out. But yeah, it'll upload it here. And then if I click that and I use this link here, And let's say I want to put this here. Link to media file. That will make it come up in a dark screen. Let's edit it. Let's put the URL here, just like so, and hit apply. All right. So let's just save the draft. And then once it's done, I want to show you how to preview. All right. So I'm going to preview it in a new tab. Let's get out of this. And this should be what your readers see after everything's all said and done. There we go. All right. So here's the audio article. Here's the player. There we go. Now, if I were to hit open in a new tab, that would open in a new tab once that player was closed. It would bring you back to this page. This one here, I have opening in a new tab. And there we go. And if that was an actual URL, it would take you there. But since I closed it, it brought you back to the article. And then this right here is your separator. Any questions so far?
How to create a gallery and post with NextGen, with the NextGen Galleries.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so let's go here. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a basic slideshow. Let me see here. I'm going to select this one here.
Wait, what do you do?
What I'm doing is I'm just using an existing one here that was in here. So if you already have...
Most everyone has not created their own gallery. Well, quite a few people listening today don't know anything about it, have not created a gallery, have not done anything.
I see. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Let's try this. All right. Create a new gallery. We're going to name it test. We're going to create it. All right. And let's browse. And I am just going to, there we go. All right, so I just uploaded 9 files. You just select it and it'll show you which ones have been uploaded. There we go. I'm going to select done. All right, and basic slideshow, there's my test. There we go, all the way down at the bottom. All right, and then I'm going to look, autoplay. Here are the dimensions. That's the default here. I'm going to show the arrows. Let's do slide. We could show a thumbnail link. Let's see, yeah. And then insert into gallery. All right, so let's save draft. And then we'll go into preview. And there we go. All right, and then here, right here is the gallery that we just added. Now it's going to autoplay, but it also has the arrows so people can scroll along, or they could view the thumbnails. And it breaks it down like so. Was that what you had in mind, Lisa?
That's really not how we've been creating them. But I mean, it certainly works. We've been using the templates that are there. I usually add the photos to the media library first. That's how I've been doing it. And then create the gallery from the media library.
You can definitely do that as well. Once these are placed, they are automatically added into the media library.
Right.
So either way works.
Can you show them how to
Everybody-
do it with one of the templates? Because I had not seen what you did. I had not seen how to do that at all.
Oh, sure. Create a new gallery. Test 2. All right, and browse.
So you have to name the gallery first.
Yes.
So how are y'all, I'm just talking to Lisa, are you saying to name the gallery is what the title of the story is or what?
That's really for you because no one else will see it once you've created it. Just something you'll know to go back to look for.
Okay.
Vera, we've found that some of these show the cut lines and some do not. I don't know if that's how it's built in. Like I know Pro Horizontal Film Strip does show the cut lines, but I'm not sure if, like, I don't believe anyway, today we were playing around with it and saw that some of them do not and some of them do.
And here it gives you the name of the file. So if this was your cut line, it would be right below the photo.
And the cut
Just
lines
as an
show
example.
up twice. You usually have to go back and kill one of the cut lines when you go to the manage galleries. That shows up in a tiny box at the top and a bigger bottom at the box at the bottom, and you have to kill the top cut line.
And here, I'll show you where to go for that. Manage galleries, and let's go into, where is my test here? All right, so let's just pick this one here. Since I imagine there's cut lines. All right, so if it comes up twice, usually it's because there's two different ones, one in the title and one in the description. So you could just get rid of one of these areas for it to show. Since mine doesn't have
Right.
cut lines.
There's one of them that if you have to get rid of a specific one, it'll still mess up. And I thought it was the other way around. But you can fix it easily by cutting and pasting. But you do need to look at it every time because it will sometimes just come up with a code or something if you don't get rid of the right one of these.
Okay, yeah, here's the example Nick sent to give an idea of how to do the info boxes, making it colored in the background, bullet points, and this is utilized by the column. Right here is an advertiser that was inserted into this section here.
So we didn't manually insert that advertisement, that kind of auto-filled. Is there a way to make it so that ads don't fill into infographics? So that like the infographic isn't broken up at all?
I don't know if this was inserted by the advertising team or if this was placed manually.
It was not placed manually because I made the infographic.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. If that is the case, I would talk to them because they have it set that within the article, after so many paragraphs, that goes in. But it could be tweaked, just mention it to them that, hey, it's coming up in the info box. I suggested, maybe doing like 3 paragraphs down. And that way everything is up at the top, like right here, it would appear. It wouldn't be in the middle of the info box. But that again would be up to them where they want to show that ad. Now, there was one thing that came up in another training. Do you protect your photos with watermarks?
We do not.
You do not. Okay. All right. Now, in the event that it is something like from a third-party photographer, you can do that. And you can actually, all I did was I checked one like this right here. You can actually insert a watermark right from the gallery here, set watermark, and
Okay.
it would apply. Also, you could actually have a price list. So if it's like a local artist that you're featuring and his material is copywritten, but he's selling it at a local art gallery or a Prince or something, you can not only link to his page to purchase the print, you could actually have it here and you have a section for e-commerce. So like for some of our publishers, for graduation galleries, parents wants to pay for their kids because they appeared not only in the local newspaper, but you might get some really good shots that they weren't able to obtain. So if that's the case, you could sell those items. But again, that would be up to the higher ups, but the option is there.
We hope you have found this walkthrough helpful, and if you have any further questions or would like more information on the Our Hometown platform, please contact us at ops@ourhometown.com.